What's up, guys? Ryan and J-Man here, Pro Wrestling Pulse. Obviously, judging by the title, you might be asking yourself, what the fuck is going on? What the hell does that even mean? We obviously have some explaining to do. So the title of this is Pro Wrestling Pulse Exile Series. What the fuck does that even mean? Is it Survivor? Are we going to go to some random island? Or what the hell is happening? No, we're not doing any of that. So basically, this premise came when me and Ryan were sitting after, I want to say Extreme Rules. I want to say it was. The last pay-per-view was Extreme Rules. That ended. Yet another lackluster show of a series of lackluster shows when it comes to WWE. And it left us saying, we're not excited. Like, we don't have the same excitement level that we used to have when we would sit and watch a WWE pay-per-view or whatever the case may be. Don't get us wrong. When it's, Mania or there's some really, really big match that we're looking forward to, we're eyes glued. We really want to see what's going on. But the day-to-day, it feels like it is a job. It is work to have to sit through some of WWE television. Most of WWE television. Whether it be the fucking insomnia, fucking barely staying alive, fucking 3 hours of Raw, or the lackluster creative ideas, or whatever the case may be. It got us thinking, like, what can we do to, rejuvenate ourselves when it comes to wrestling, or talking about wrestling, or whatever the case may be, to get us on here and want to fucking do this show more, and want to, talk about more shit, or have creative ideas, or whatever the case may be. And Ryan and I are both, creative-minded people. We want to, do some shit that's, is creative. So we came up with this idea. It's basically a two-part concept. So the first part of it, starting this Sunday is Money in the Bank. We're going to it live in our hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm really excited about that. Live wrestling shows we're all fucking about, for sure. Starting this Sunday, after the pay-per-view ends on Sunday, Ryan and I will not watch any WWE television until the night of SummerSlam. So we're talking 2.5 months, 2 months, basically, of no complete cutoff, exile, of watching WWE television.
No news, no nothing.
No nothing. We won't look up any information, anything that's going on, storylines. We will have no fucking idea what the hell is going on. From the night, as soon as Money in the Bank ends, we'll no longer watch Raws, no longer watch SmackDowns. We'll miss both the pay-per-views that are be coming up, except for Joe and Lesnar. We want to watch Joe and Lesnar. That's the only thing we're gonna actually let us see, because we kind of want to see what the fuck happens with that. But that's it. That's the only thing we're gonna let ourselves watch. Like NXT, I don't even think we've talked about NXT, but I think NXT we wouldn't be able to watch because they'll probably talk about storyline-wise things. So NXT's cut off. So that means we'll miss the TakeOver show before SummerSlam on Saturday, which kind of blows, but because it looks like it could be pretty sweet. But that's everything. And the reason we, are not really challenging ourselves, because I don't really feel like it's going to be a challenge, is to, just rejuvenate some ideas and some concepts and things like that, we
always talk about, hey, we could have booked this better.
Yeah, like, hey, maybe, yeah, exactly. Like, wow, damn, why didn't they do this? Or why didn't they do that? And taking our concepts and things like that into, this idea, but the first start of it is having to cut it off and having to basically start from ground zero as far as that. And maybe once we get to SummerSlam, we've talked about, we're not even going to watch the promo package at the beginning of SummerSlam. Like,
we don't even want to know what any of the matches.
We won't know any of the fucking matches. We won't have any idea what's going into the second biggest show of the year, which is SummerSlam. And I feel like that we're going to be genuinely excited.
Yeah.
With that amount of time off, we're going to have excitement and see what the fuck's happening. And we can go back and catch up on shit. We could skip a bunch of shit, because obviously a lot of this shit has been skippable. But I think we'll have that excitement level, because I remember going into big shows where the whole day we would be sitting there just waiting for the show. We want to see the fucking show and just itching for it. And now it's just like, hey, you going to come out for the show? And be like, I guess so. We're going to do a video for it? Why? Why even care?
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. Why should we give a shit? But we think this might rejuvenate that. And the first part of it, cutting off. From the night Money in the Bank ends this Sunday, we will not watch wrestling, WWE wrestling, until the night SummerSlam starts.
We won't watch Impact either.
Well, yeah, we really even haven't watched that either. But yeah, so Money in the Bank cutting off. So we're going to miss Great Balls of Fire, Battleground, which is SmackDown's pay-per-view, and then we'll be back on SummerSlam. We're going to do a review for SummerSlam, having no idea what the fuck is going on, no clue the storylines, the booking, anything like that. We're going to have, it's a clean slate as far as what the hell's going on for WWE, and maybe starting fresh there might rejuvenate that. But that's step one of this little project we're putting on here.
Right. So the idea we've done before is, we've talked about this forever, since we've been friends, about what would we do if we booked, a wrestling show ourselves, or booked a storyline, or we take what's happening right now and then mold it to what we would like, or what we would think would be better, or what other people would like. So the idea is, from Money in the Bank, after Money in the Bank, not knowing anything that's going on from that moment on, we're going to take, the stuff that's still happening. Obviously, the whoever the champions are, whoever wins Money in the Banks and whatever, they're all going to be the champions. We are going to split brands. He's going to take SmackDown, I'm going to take Raw, and we are going to book up until SummerSlam what we think should happen, or not think. Well, it's not what we think is going to happen.
Right.
What we think should happen.
Right.
Or whatever. So that accounts for, we both get one pay-per-view apiece. We get the Raws and the SmackDowns to decide on how we want to book to those pay-per-views and
right.
book into SummerSlam.
Right.
We're not doing any trading for any wrestlers. We're not bringing anybody up from NXT. It's the exact rosters that we have. Everything that's current now is going, and we have to build from that to what we feel like would be what we would want to see at SummerSlam.
Right.
Then I'm going to get 5 matches. He's going to get 5 matches at SummerSlam, and then without either one of us knowing, we're both going to pick a wrestler from both of our brands, and we're going to have one interpromotional match.
That's just for the fun part.
That's just for the fun. We're going to do that
just
for
to
fun.
see what the fuck match we get out of an interpromotional one where we just random as fuck.
Yeah, just random. We're
but obviously we won't know injuries. So, I mean, there could be somebody Monday night that's a big key player that could get injured.
Right.
We won't know. So we're just going to book like everybody's just fine and dandy. Obviously there's talk of John Cena is going to be coming back July 4th, so that's confirmed. So I will be able to use John Cena. Fucking thank you. And then, like he said, the champions will all be as soon as Money in the Bank ends. So obviously the champions on Raw are already solidified, so he knows what he's working with. Money in the Bank, I'm going to find out what I'm working with on the SmackDown side of things as far as champions, Money in the Bank contracts. There's a lot to really go on there. But starting there, I don't think we're going to book every weekly show, but we could talk about building up to the pay-per-view. So he'll be Great Balls of Fire. Right. Now, a lot of Great Balls of Fire is already booked. That doesn't matter. Like, he's going to start fresh there, so he can fuck that car all the way up. So it's basically he started his basically after Extreme Rules. We'll just say that, because none of the champions changed.
Yeah.
None of the champions changed. Nobody's re-injured, or I don't think they are. Nobody's gotten injured or anything like that. So he's basically taking over from after Extreme Rules because there already were things pre-booked. He already had, like in normal time, obviously Brock Lesnar has already been the Universal Champion. If he wants to, he could take the fucking title off of Brock Lesnar, and he could have somebody else's champion going into it, whatever the case may be, because we could change shit on weekly shows. But we're basically, the main videos we're going to get, because it is a series of videos that we're going to have here, we're going to start with Ryan's Great Balls of Fire. Unfortunately, he has to work with that title for his show. I actually kind of find it fitting that you would get the most random fucking sounding name of all time. I have Battleground to go with. This is a Butthole Grind. Might be my theme song for that.
This is Butthole Grind.
This is Butthole Grind. And like you said, going into SummerSlam, it's going to be an 11-match card for SummerSlam. 5 matches for him, 5 matches for me, and then a promotional match for a wrestler for both of us. And then the monthly pay-per-views, so his Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, my Battleground pay-per-view will have 7 matches. Typical kind of middle ground number of matches. That's basically the premise, and everything else is free game. The roster that we have is what we have. We're not bringing up anybody else, like you said. Injuries, if it does happen in real life, we'll have no fucking idea if it happens in real life because we won't be paying attention, won't be watching, won't be seeing the news, and everything like that. So we're gonna work with what we got right now. Yeah.
So the game plan is basically, we're not, like you said, we're not going to cover every Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
We're going to, I think, cover key storyline ideas, key matches, stuff like that.
Title changes.
If we're going to do title changes, if we're going to show that stuff. Literally anything's not anything is fair game.
Right.
I mean, so I can turn anybody heel. I
face,
can
title
face.
changes.
I can create gimmicks. You
Right.
can do whatever you want.
Right.
You're literally in charge. We're literally in charge of the show.
Because we are taking over where they have supposedly creative. We're going to show our creative ideas of what we would do with this. Now, obviously, we don't have... It would be a little bit different if it was an elongated time of booking. There would probably be different scenarios that we would do and maybe have feuds that would carry out over time or heel or face turns that would phase out over time. We only have 2 months to book this. So you're going to get the best of what we have in this jam-packed, short little version. But from SummerSlam on, that's what we would want to see going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're looking to... we're not going to have a preview for SummerSlam, obviously.
Right.
What we would do, I guess, the week of SummerSlam, book our SummerSlam card, and I guess this is going to be, what, a 4-part series? Maybe?
Yeah, I think like 3 or 4 videos. I think the night of the actual pay-per-views, we'll have to write down the dates so we know the dates of what time to do that. We're going to upload our cards. So what's going to happen is, obviously, Great Balls of Fire is going to be Ryan's. I think it's in a couple weeks. That weekend or whatever that show is on. Like we said, I have no idea what's going to be happening there. We're going to both be on here and talking about Ryan's show that he booked for Great Balls of Fire. He's going to give his card. We're going to give some back and forth inputs on, good stuff, bad stuff, whatever the hell happens with that.
We won't know.
We won't
We're
know.
not gonna
we
tell
also
each other.
haven't told each other what we're going to do. We haven't told each other.
So it'll be in real time on the video.
So as soon as you see the video, you're going to see the reaction of both of us finding out our cards.
Bounce off ideas,
see what's happening, like where it could go from here, where SummerSlam leads in from after Great Balls of Fire, and the same thing for mine. I'm going to have my Battleground card for SmackDown. He's not going to know what I'm doing for that, and then after that, we'll start our preparation for going into SummerSlam, and then we're going to have a video, a big SummerSlam type preview for our SummerSlam that we're going to be booking together as both, Raw and SmackDown, combining them together for the 11 match card that's going to be SummerSlam. So the more I keep talking about this, the more excited I get about it because it just sounds like a lot of fun. It's a really interesting idea where
there's a lot of things I've wanted to do with Raw and SmackDown rosters for years. I mean, like, why didn't they do this? I would have done this. I should, this guy's stale. Why don't they do this? Why this storyline would be super good. Like,
instead of being, it's almost, because if anybody, I'll plug this guy all day, Mickey Babylon, he does a lot of booking videos. He did a Hindsight series where in Hindsight he booked WrestleManias. It's a fucking awesome series. Go check it out. It's great shit. The guy's super creative and the things he comes up with is great. But this is almost reverse of that. Not having any idea what's going on. In hindsight, he had what to go off of there. We're booking in the dark. We don't know what they're going to do. It all matters of what we are going to do and what we feel like WWE should do with the roster and the shows and everything provided. And
if they do anything that either one of us actually book, I would be surprised.
I would be too. Maybe some undercard stuff might somehow click or something, but I don't think anything on the top card is going to be anywhere in resemblance of what they are going to do. But we're excited. We're excited to see what comes out of it. Compare the card. We might do a follow-up video after down the road once we catch up with everything that we missed. Mm-hmm. Great Balls of Fire, Battleground, weekly shit, or whatever. If there's some big return or something happened, we won't know. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna do maybe a follow-up topics video of maybe comparing the cards or what they did or what ended up happening or something like that.
Joe and Lesnar's a dream match. I'm sorry, I gotta see that.
We have to see it. Yeah,
gotta see that live.
We were sitting there, and as soon as they announced, or as soon as Joe won, we were like, "Fuck." We're like, this kind of fucked up our game plan that we're going out here, but
we're just gonna
watch that match. That's the only thing we're gonna watch. We'll fast forward through. He might come over on that Sunday or whatever day, maybe after that or something, or probably that day, and we're only going to watch that match. That's it. We might watch a movie while everything else is happening, and then after the show's over, just watch that match.
However, we did say we were not going to watch WWE. We are very excited for July's the New Japan stuff that's happening. If you guys haven't found out about this, IWGP US title they created. Yeah, they're doing a 2-day tournament with that, and it's in Florida.
It is it's in Long Beach, California.
California, okay.
California. Yeah.
So they're gonna do it's gonna be a kind of a big deal. So we're gonna check that out.
I've been talking about possibly getting the New Japan World subscription where you get all the shows and stuff like that. With how great the fucking New Japan shows are, especially with their expansion, it looks like they're getting more into U.S. kind of culture of things, especially getting the Access TV show. So if we end up getting that, we might be doing some reviews for that one. But again, we'll have no fucking idea what's happening in WWE. We'll just be talking about New Japan shit. Unfortunately, we might miss, or we're going to miss the
Is there an NXT show that SummerSlam?
Yeah, there'll be a takeover.
So we won't even know.
So
about
we won't
that?
know about that takeover. So
we will watch that. We won't even
watch
know
that. We might. I don't know. Maybe should we just book? Should we together book that show, the takeover show beforehand? How we would want to book that? Maybe we'll do that.
We'll do a little short, maybe 5-match.
Yeah, like a little show that we would do takeover for, and just keep the championships the way that they are, and just maybe book that show. That'd be interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's on the fly shit right there. It's what you get from the Pulse Boys. But yeah, we're gonna miss the Women's Classic. That's in July.
Damn.
So we're gonna miss that. So we're gonna have a lot to catch up with. But with the other stuff, we'll be able to, if maybe we'll open up some alleys to get out some more content, like the New Japan stuff. If we talk about that, not so much TNA at all. But yeah, New Japan might be possibly reviewing those US shows. So even though we're going to be not watching wrestling, we're going to be thinking about a lot of wrestling. Maybe even more than when we watch wrestling, I would think.
Yeah, I like doing stuff like this.
I do too.
I like
We're both very creative, and we're very we think about this kind of shit all the time.
It took us 5 hours to come up with a logo.
Right. That's how just picky my OCD-ness and our creativeness comes into play. But we're excited about this shit, and it's just something to where this is beyond being a casual fan for damn sure. So if you guys enjoy that kind of shit, that's what we're all about. It's about expanding the horizons of what you think about and on a day-to-day basis, instead of just sitting and being like a zombie, fast forwarding through shit. Like, this is the kind of stuff that gets us excited about kind of the interesting parts of wrestling and things like that. So we're super excited to bring it to you guys. Like I said, we're gonna upload this before Money in the Bank. We'll have some stuff out for Money in the Bank, possibly doing the day in the life of thing like we talked about in the preview, and then some sort of review-ish type thing that will come up with that. But after that, who knows when you'll see us. If we end up doing, we definitely want to check out the New Japan show, so if we end up doing that, we might do a review for that. But WWE-wise, we got nothing for you, because we're going to be on a Pro Wrestling Exile for WWE. Not on Exile Island.
Would you say Purgatory? Paradox?
Pro Wrestling Paradox. We're going to go to the 5th dimension of the fucking...
We almost called this Pro Wrestling Coma.
Yeah.
Because we're the Pulse.
The Pulse, and now we're in a coma.
Now we're in a coma for a couple months.
So we're going to be here. We're going to be here.
And in our brain, this is how we would have booked it if we were in a coma. We're like, oh, shit.
Right, yeah. If we were in a coma, we're like, oh my god, all I'm thinking about is why didn't they do that? And we're just going to be speaking in tongues and shit. We all
woke up from our coma. Did this happen?
And then we'll come back alive being your coma commanders. That one fell flat, didn't it?
Oh, shit.
Did it fall flat? I feel like it fell flat.
That was it. That's the end. We got to cut the video right now. Cut the video. We're done.